This year I went to NAMM 2024. I only opted to go for day one because it was a Thursday and it's usually the easiest day to actually test out the gear as it gets kinda crazy on the weekends. Last year was my first NAMM, but I didn't film much because honestly I didn't really want to walk around with my camera out, but this year I decided to film proper coverage. It also helps that I had my friend Eric to help film. Make sure to check out his NAMM coverage as well on his YouTube channel. The NAMM layout always seems to be the same, so after getting our NAMM badges, Eric and I walked directly to the guitar exhibit. You can see here we decided to walk through the DJ/Pro audio gear to get to the guitar exhibits. The guitars and basses are pretty much at the very end of the convention, so on our way there we also quickly browsed the NAMM merch booth and then chilled in the drum section. The drum section is always comical how loud it is, but I always love checking it out. The first booth that caught my eye was the Ernie Ball booth. They always seem to be very consistent with their NAMM showings. Music Man was heavily focusing on their new custom online designer. I noticed a lot of brands have been providing custom-based designers like Fender, Bite, Gallagher, so it's nice to see that Music Man added their own online bass builder. The new finishes for the American Stingrays were shown, which are always cool to see in person. The lime green was definitely my favorite. No real new Sterlings besides new colors. I mean, there was the Sterling, but that's not really something that caught my eye. Ibanez always has the biggest showing on the floor, but it's also arguably one of the most crowded booths. Cool to see their custom basses in person. I was really hoping to see Clay, the bassist of Polyphia, get a signature announced, but that didn't happen this year. Here's a clip of me playing the Ibanez, some model name that I'm never going to remember, unplugged. It's really hard to snag an amp at this booth, but it's still fun playing multi-scale basses even unplugged. Took some footage of the Boss booth, although they really had nothing new to offer and they didn't have a bass for me to play. Luckily, MXR did have a bass at their booth, so I had fun messing around with the MXR and way huge pedals. A lot of fun playing the Reverend Mike Watt bass, as you can see in my last clip. I also wanted to show some footage of some other unique instruments I saw. This first clip is from Minarik guitars. I don't know this brand, but the Demon Slayer guitar just really caught my eye. Third Man Record had one of the best booths in my opinion, and it was a great way to promote their new collaboration with Donor Pedals. Sire was the booth I was most excited for. They showcased their new Z models, which is their take on the Music Man Stingray. They released the Z3 model, which is passive, and the Z7, which is active, and it includes a jazz pickup. These basses look gorgeous in person, but I didn't really get a chance to play them because it was just way too crowded. Cream Guitars, in my opinion, had the coolest booth at the show. They had a similar booth last year, but I didn't pay much attention because they didn't have any basses previously, but this year they showcased their new bass lineup. Here's a clip of me playing one of their basses, but I muted the audio because for some reason I didn't realize this bass was out of tune. Just imagine me playing the bass to Lost in Yesterday by Tame Impala slightly out of tune. There is a section in NAMM dedicated specifically for boutique instruments. When I go here, I basically walk straight to Dingwall. Dingwall was showcasing their new Super P basses that are Chinese made, so I'm really looking forward to these. Definitely fell in love with the green Super P with the gold pickguard. Also, shout out to McSwain Guitars. These checkered sparkled finishes are gorgeous. Ashdown teased their roasted maple lineup prototypes last year and brought the official models this year. They're great basses, but I'm not sure when they're going to be available in the US. Alright, the Sansamp XB driver. Tim from Tech21 gave me a great breakdown of this pedal, which I should have filmed, but I was too busy playing the pedal myself to film, and Eric was at another booth. Honestly, this pedal sounds killer. It takes the best parts of their most popular pedals, the bass driver, the Doug Pinnock, the Paradriver, and I'm pretty sure some other pedal too. $500 is a steep price for a pedal, but if your budget is $300 for a DI and $200 for an overdrive, then this pedal is definitely worth it. Honestly, I would get this myself, but I'm kind of turned off by the fact that it doesn't have any cabinet simulation, which I feel most bass preamps should have if they're built post 2020. The last part of my day was spent in Yamaha and ESP, but there's no real bass highlights worth mentioning, so I'm just going to give you my summary of NAMM 2024 for bass. I'm not sure about you guys, but I noticed fewer NAMM bass videos this year. I think the reason I blew off making this video is just because I wasn't blown away by the bass showings this year. Sire, Dingwall, and Tech 21 had strong showings in my opinion, but there wasn't really much else to rave about, and I wasn't compelled to visit another day. If you want to maximize your NAMM experience, I definitely recommend going more than one day, visiting as many booths as possible, and then network properly. I guess that's just not my style, and then a lot of other content creators just weren't there this year, so I didn't really meet up with anyone else. If I didn't live in LA, I would say going to the show wasn't worth it, but because I live in LA, the show's very convenient for me to go, so I'll probably be going every year if I can. Attending with friends definitely helps, so big shout out to Eric for attending with me and helping me film this video. Also forgot to mention that I walked away with 2 products from the show. I didn't bring back a bass like I wanted, but I did get these coated bass strings for $10 from Blacksmith. They sound pretty solid, nothing crazy, but $10 for coated strings is a steal. I also got these Rock Lock universal strap locks. They're strap lock alternatives that are really easy to use and seem pretty sturdy. I wouldn't say they are 100% as secure as strap locks, but they are extremely flexible, and I did see multiple videos of people doing guitar spins with these, so they're definitely worth checking out if you're looking for a strap lock alternative. Thanks again for watching this video, and let me know your thoughts on NAMM and what gear you're most excited for this year.